Am I overreacting? My boyfriend wanted me to ask my male friend if he'd sleep with me. Am I overreacting to my ex-boyfriend's friend texting me after the breakup? So there's a page on Reddit called Am I Overreacting? It's pretty self-explanatory. People share texts and scenarios and ask people whether they're overreacting or not. Well, last week, a follower of mine sent me this email and asked me to respond and reply to the first story that we're about to read, and it was horrible. I didn't enjoy it, but I spent the next hour on this subreddit. Train wrecks are horrible, but they save you a seat and make you sit. And then I found this second story that we're about to read, and it just got progressively worse and more irritating, but the ending was so satisfying that it made me forget about the holes in my brain. So we're gonna read them both together, and I'm gonna do a lot of this. Am I overreacting? My boyfriend wanted me to ask my male friend if he'd sleep with me. Okay, so the first story needs some context. This woman said at the beginning of the relationship that she told him about her male friend and his girlfriend, and she expressed that she believes that it's possible to have a platonic, non-sexual relationship with a man, and he initially agreed. However, as their relationship progressed, he became extremely possessive, jealous. He isolated her from all of her friends and family, regardless of gender, all of that. When the following texts were sent, they weren't technically together. They were trying to patch things up before because she said she still had love for him and had always pleaded with him to get in therapy. She truly believes that he has bipolar disorder. At the time of this post, he actually started to win her over again, claiming he had changed, probably said something about he had been in therapy while they were broken up, something like that. Now here's the problem at hand. She had just hosted a party at her male friend's house with his girlfriend there. Yes, reminder, this male friend is in a relationship. There is zero interest. She had too much to drink at this party, so she called her sort of boyfriend and told him that she had too much to drink and couldn't drive, so she needed to stay overnight. So she cleared it with him. She also called him while she was in bed to make him feel more comfortable. Now, this is a valid reason for a partner to be uncomfortable in many situations, but they had already had a positive discussion about it. She provided reassurance. The original poster and this guy were not legitimately dating at this point in time. And again, her male friend is in a relationship. Nevertheless, this sort of boyfriend told her that he's going to rip her male friend's throat out, which led to this text message exchange. Okay, tell blank you want to have sex with him tonight and see what he says. If you're right, he'll say no, right? And I'll apologize profusely to you both.
Hey, this is nutty, buddy!
That would be manipulating him and playing games. I'm not interested in doing that to get an apology from you. You need to apologize based on the facts at hand, not based on your feelings. And go with it. Don't just admit to, immediately be convincing. See what he says. Again, with these psychos, grammar is never their strong suit. Ever. I've never seen a complete sentence or complete thought with any of these people, so keep that in mind as we go forward. Ha 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 ha. Because you know deep down in your heart what the answer would be, and that would your sweet little fake friendship. Ha ha ha. No, I don't know. I know I'm not lowering to your level to get an apology from you. You're manipulative AF. Feels good to be right for a change, and you have no way to run from it. You're scared to try because I'm right. Haha, oh yes. You're not right, blank. Then ask him, what are you scared of? You're going off of your imagination and staking claim in it. I'm not interested in your games. Grow up. The floor is yours to completely prove me wrong. I can ask him for you if you'd like. Not like he would tell me either because he's a punk bitch.
I am angrier than a vampire seeing garlic bread on his wife's grocery list!
I'm not telling him I want to have sex with him because, number one, I don't want to. Number two, I'm not lying. And number three, I'm not saying a lie to prove you wrong or get an apology from you. So twist it in every way that you want. This is because I don't want to be a liar. Lol, fine. I'll do it myself. Lol, do what you need to do, blank. You know his schedule. When's he usually home? If he says yes, you understand what that means. Lol, what's that? That I will know exactly who to run to when you fuck up. And LMAO. Well, right now, he's never going to be an option.
What?
You think I don't already know he's next up? Now, like you, her response gasted my flabbers. Okay, but she later replied in the comments and admitted that her response was not the best, and she admitted that she was really worked up and she was just trying to make him see his thoughts through, aka she was poking him. After dealing with this buffoonery for a long period of time, I think I would probably say some not smart things either. I think mentally I would be worn down quite a bit. But she didn't lead with this in the beginning of this post and didn't warn us that this response was coming, so I'm gonna give her reply a Still, his reaction and responses are way worse, and they actually get a little scary at the end here. There's the blank I know. Okay, enjoy talking to yourself. I know you're about to be gross and ugly. Have a good day here. He's a smart little rat, playing the long game with old blank, learning you just waiting for me to fuck up, lol. Smart little thing, but I know what rats look like. You going to tell me when he's home, or am I just going to have to show up randomly and squash this once and for all? It will take me 5 minutes to find out where he lives, so you can tell me when he's home, or I can go wait. Up to you.
I'm a nervous ballerina. Terrified twirl. Terrified twirl.
He's such a pussy. Never mind, maybe he doesn't want to fuck you. He may just want you to peg him. Man, fuck this. I'm so much better than this. You and that little F word deserve each other.
Ah! Large language!
Go have fun and enjoy him and his money. Have fun cheating on him in 5 years on your new jacked personal trainer, LMAO. I'm out of this bitch. Again, use your imagination on what that F word is. It's not fuck. I'll tell you that. It's another one. And then he sent a screenshot of messages that he exchanged with this male friend of hers. He privately messaged him and said, "Hey, I got a question for you, brother. What's up? So how long have you been wanting to fuck blank, bro?" Well, first off, I don't. Second, I'm definitely going to show her this, so dig this hole if you want to. Please do.
5 feet deep, 1 more to go. Did you bring your pine wood box, pal?
Dig this hole if you want to, LMAO. He's good, I'll give him that. See, he's gonna show you that and throw even more fuel on the fire towards me, and then you will be over tonight and finally meet back shit blank. I think he means batshit, but he could very well not actually know what the term batshit is. He might actually think it's back shit. So he's mine's smart, really. A huge F word. There it is again. But kind of smart. Either way, this was fun while it lasted. Not really, though. Have a beautiful life together. So I have a theory here. And I've probably thought about this way too much, but I think it's true. There's a theme that we see here with a lot of these control freaks on this channel. When they text, they use a lot of ha 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 and a lot of crying, laughing emojis excessively, to the point where it feels psychotic. I think this reaction is extremely similar to getting tickled. Hear me out for a second. Please don't go anywhere. When I was in high school, we learned that people who are ticklish have very sensitive nervous systems. So when we are tickled, our brain detects that as a threat. That's why we get all anxious and fidgety and panicky. We quite literally panic. That's what it is. And yet we laugh like hyenas. Why is that? Well, the laughter is both a defense mechanism and a coping mechanism at the same time. A defense mechanism because we're trying to tell the tickler that we're not alarmed or threatened and that we're okay. It's also a coping mechanism because we're trying to tell our brains that we're okay. We're trying to calm ourselves down from panicking. Right now, this dude is losing control in 2 different ways at once. He's losing control of the situation and he's losing control of his emotions, which is very overwhelming for a very toxic, controlling, manipulative person. So I think the reason that this dude is ha 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 and sending a bunch of these crying, laughing emojis is because he's trying to convince his half-girlfriend that he's okay and that he's in control. And he's also trying to convince himself of that. So essentially, she's tickling him in a way. Anyway, my thesis will be out on that soon. Be on the lookout. Now, before we move on to the final story, today's video is made possible by
Fume!
The folks over at Fume created the Fume V2 to combat 3 major components of habit formation: flavor, fidgeting, and fixation.
Oh no, more scary F words.
It's not a vape. There's no vapors, there's no nicotine, and there's 0 addictive chemicals. The doctor-approved Fume V2 is essentially just flavored air. It's closer to being herbal tea, honestly. They've got really yummy flavors, it calms your nerves, and it satisfies your hand-to-mouth fixation. It's also a third of the cost of your negative habit, and there are no batteries. So calm your anxiety in a natural, risk-free way, or help a pal for the holidays and give them the gift of better habits. Visit this little linky poo below, or scan this QR code and use the code Dustin Poynter to get your free Fume topper when you purchase the Journey Pack. Alright, now back to the program. Am I overreacting to my ex-boyfriend's friend texting me after the breakup?
Oh no. Is he trying to swoop in? Do we have a vulnerability vulture here?
A little bit of context here in the description above the text. This woman actually says that this was her fiance that she had just ended things with just 1 month prior. Her ex and this friend of his were part of the same Dungeons and Dragons group. They were friends, but not like best friends. But the ex did let him into his house every single week for game night because they hosted it at his house. So they were pretty close. She says that this text felt odd to her because they barely even ever spoke to each other and it was never flirty. So why was he texting her? Well, he definitely answered that question. What's up? I heard about you and blank. You all good? I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Not to be rude, but I don't have your number in my phone. Who is this? It's cool. This is blank. You forgot me already, damn. Left him on red for precisely 18 minutes. And then he says, hey, I forgive you for leaving me on red. What are you up to right now? Again, no response. The next afternoon, he sent another text, but tried to instill a sense of urgency. How? By acting like there was an emergency.
You're courting her by cranking up her cortisol?
Hey girl, I need to talk to you when you get a chance. I hope things aren't awkward after the breakup. Hey, I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to ignore you, just have ADHD. Lol. It's not really awkward, but it's a little unexpected. What? Why unexpected? I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but is something wrong? Not being rude, we just never really texted before. True, but you were with blank before. He wouldn't play like that. You said you wanted to talk to me. Is everything okay? Newsflash, no one would play like that. No friend would be cool with you trying to swoon their partner, which tells me he's probably done some shit like this before. Yeah, everything good. Don't be scared. I'm just trying to catch up with you. We used to hang out all together and I miss having you around. Damn, why I gotta be something wrong? You said you needed to talk. What did you want to talk about? I just been thinking about you. Again, no response. Call me when you get home. I do want to talk, for real. I just didn't want to tell you. Call me, for real.
Passionate skipping. Passionate skipping.
And this was another reason why she thought it felt odd, because she knew this dude for several years and they hardly ever spoke to one another. And now suddenly he's expecting her to call him. And even weirder, she didn't tell him that she went out. She assumed that he saw it on her Instagram, but he doesn't follow her. So he was creeping for sure. Now we jump to the update post where everything unravels, and it's a doozy. Can't talk right now. I'm at work. What's going on? Can't we talk about it instead of text? I don't know how to ask you this tactfully, but it seems like you've been hitting on me. I'm not trying to make assumptions, but if that's what it is, I would prefer you just tell me. If I'm wrong, then I'm sorry for assuming, but it feels like that's what it is. If I am, would that be alright? I wasn't gonna try anything until I heard you started seeing someone new so soon. I'm not judging you, I'm just saying because I know you and him were having problems for a while. I knew you would bounce back quick, lol. Blank, fucked up, letting you get away, and I'm not trying to make the same mistake for real. I've had feelings for a while, but I didn't make any moves out of respect. If I'm being real, I always thought you were too good for blank, especially after he got into all that other shit. If your new guy is just a rebound and not a real thing, then I fuck with it. But if you are actually back out there, ... If now isn't the right time for us, I respect that too. I have to shoot my shot either way, or I might regret it later. All my cards are on the table, so let me know. Girl, don't leave me hanging after this. Anxiety going crazy right now. I need a second to think about what I want to say. Okay, there are a few things I don't understand. Number one, what do you mean you heard I was starting to see new people? Who did you hear that from? Is it the same person who gave you my number? Number two, did you tell Blank that you were going to reach out to me? Blank said she hooked you up with her cousin. I know how it looks, but me and Blank aren't like that for real. I FW him because we got mutuals, but we never been all that. I don't think I need to tell him about it. You're single now. If you wanted to make sure you didn't see nobody else, he shouldn't have fumbled the bag.
Enjoy the seething squat thrust, brother!
Whoops. Let's jump back to part 1, slide 2, where this man said he wouldn't play like that. This man knows he needs to tell him. He knows that his friend would be very upset by this, because he just had a fiance a month ago. Now he does not have a fiance. Respectfully, I think he would be extremely pissed off about you doing this. If I can be even more honest, I think you know that already. Even if you aren't best friends, you still hang out with him every week and have for years now. Imagine how he would feel knowing you were just in his house, drinking and laughing, just for you to turn around and try to get with his ex so soon. Even if you aren't that close with him, I doubt blank, and especially blank would be cool with it either. Blank don't FW him like that either. For real. I don't give a fuck what they think about it anyway. They would do the same thing if they could. It's cute that you still care about him, but I don't.
What?
It's not like you're all the way innocent in this either, though.
What?
Excuse me? Calm down. I'm just saying you got a new man pretty fast. Your loyalty to him ain't that deep either, just saying. Are you serious right now? Don't be mad, From. I'm just saying. I think he means fam. Firstly, not that it's any of your business, but I have no problem moving on. I know what he put me through, and so does he. My only regret is that I didn't leave sooner. Loyalty kept me there while he was still acting like a psycho. It ended when the relationship did. This isn't about loyalty. It's about respect and honesty. You're saying you don't fuck with him like that, but I've seen how you two interact. You could have fooled me. Secondly, If you really don't see any issue with what you're doing, then why haven't you told him? Because I don't owe him shit. What do you mean? We're cool, but it's not like that, is all I'm trying to tell you. Why do you care what he thinks about us anyways? Okay, I think you and I aren't going to see eye to eye on this, and I don't want things to get heated. I'm not comfortable seeing anyone that my ex considers a friend, whether you are super close or not, even if he knew and didn't care. I'm not interested. Okay, on some real shit, I don't see the difference from what you've been doing with that King Kong looking motherfucker blank got you with. What I gotta do? Start swinging from trees and shit?
Okay, meltdown time. I'm turning myself into a taquito.
Wow, stop getting mad over everything. I'm just playing with you, for real. Another theory I just came up with, I think he's saying FR so much because he's not being real. He's trying to convince her thoroughly that he's being for real when in fact he is not. That's another airtight theory I just came up with. I don't like how you're acting right now. I get that it takes a lot to put yourself out there, but your reaction to hearing a no is only justifying my answer. Just find it funny that you say it's about honesty and loyalty, but you not doing none of that. It's cool though. I don't know what you're talking about, but I don't want to get into some unnecessary argument with you. I'm talking about you saying I'm disloyal for hitting you up too soon after your breakup while you out getting piped by many MFs in the same amount of time. BFFFR. Be honest, since that's what it's about. Don't think I didn't catch that you said you were seeing other people. What do you mean, people? Damn, I thought you were supposed to be the good girl.
Oh, God, sweet mother of Margaret Thatcher.
And then all hell is unleashed on this fella. Fire, brimstone, sulfur, all of it. First of all, I've had sex with precisely one man in my entire life. You should know that considering you've been envying him for the past 8 years straight. When I do sleep with someone else, it won't be any of your fucking business. Seeing people and sleeping with them aren't the same thing. You'd know that if anyone was interested in doing either of those things with you. Secondly, you sound bitter and childish right now. Calling me a slut won't turn that no into a yes, any more than calling my date King Kong will turn the I'm not interested you got into the looking forward to seeing you tonight he got. If you're insecure, just say that. You're not mad at how many men I'm sleeping with. You're mad you'll never be one of them. Third on the agenda, since you value honesty so much, I'll give you some. You aren't telling Blank about this because you know damn well he will fuck you up. I wanted to warn him about your pathetic snake ass, but decided not to because I'm concerned that he won't beat the charges, but he will beat you, so tread lightly. You're writing checks with your mouth right now that we both know you can't cash, so stay in your broke ass place and STF you. By the way, that King Kong remark shows how insecure you are. You would never say that shit to his face. You can't when your forehead and his dick are in the same general location.
Oh, it's poetry. It's peen poetry.
Lastly, for the longest time I couldn't figure out how the hell you even got my number. Blank said she didn't give it to you, and I know Blank wouldn't do that. Then I remembered that my number was on our save the date invitations. You are fucking pathetic. Bye.
Oh, my sister in Christ. That was phenomenal. I can't explain this, but that made me want to go vote. Is it November 5th again? Man.
Oh, and he never replied again after that because how could you? How could you after that brimstone beatdown, dude?
The truth hurts. I bet he'd get a migraine if he ever read a scholarly article.
Oh, and the last slide here, she said that she kept getting calls from private numbers and then she would get a call from his actual number. I assume he did this just to get some extra shots at getting her on the phone without looking like a John Wayne Gacy henchman. But that, of course, backfired too. Okay, I've got 3 more stories for you. You just have to click the box in the top left and then we'll get started. They're palate cleansing stories full of wholesome green flaggery. And once again, thank you to the folks over at Fume for making this video possible. Visit their link in the description. All right, toodles.